Okay, that was a super slow, super spacious groove. And what I want to talk about in this video is how to find the groove and the tempo of what it is you're going to play before you start playing it. And I think there's a few different ways of doing this, but a lot of drummers would probably agree with me on what I'm going to talk about right now. So, right at the beginning, before I started playing, you want to look at what I'm doing. So, one of the biggest things you can do is like sort of tap out the groove on your legs. And I see a lot of drummers that approach it this way, and I think it works really well. So, in this groove, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, super slow. Okay, so that's the quarter note, right? And the actual beat, you notice that I'm not playing 16th notes, really. There's a little bit of that going on in the kick drum, and some of my fills were 16th notes, but the actual beat that I'm working with is like a quarter note beat. I'm only playing quarter notes on the hi-hat, and it's really slow. So if I were going to try to find that tempo before I started playing by only thinking about those quarter notes that are very far apart, that would be trouble. So what I need to do is find the 16th notes. I need to subdivide on a 16th note level in order to make sure that tempo is exactly where I want it to be. Because, like I said, the quarter notes here are so far apart that the chances of me getting that tempo right are very small. You know, typically I'd probably be a lot faster than I need to be because those quarter notes are so far apart. It's they're hard reference points to gauge when they're so far apart. So basically we split it into smaller little segments by subdividing into 16th notes so that we can measure things more accurately. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Okay, so like I said, before I started playing, you saw me tapping on my legs. You can see my right hand here. I'm tapping 16th notes. Even though I'm not going to play them, but I want to feel where those are. Okay, and then you notice my body, my upper torso, my body movement for this particular groove at this tempo, I'm sort of bouncing in 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3. I have this little dance going on, okay? And that helps me feel the tempo, and it helps me groove and stay in the pocket. So it's a combination of subdividing here, developing this full body movement. Even if it's subtle, it really helps, okay? And then you also might have noticed my mouth was moving and I was verbalizing some things. So it's like 3 things going on before I even started playing in order to make sure that it was right where I wanted it to be from the get-go, okay? Subdividing, tapping on the leg, getting my full body motion going, which will maintain when I start playing, and then verbalizing the subdivision as well. And you can do this however you want. I think just now I had this sort of like a and I even maintain some of that vocal stuff when I start playing. I actually sang the fill that I played, and when I started playing, I still had that. I kept that going for like the first measure or so, just to really make sure I was locked into that. And then once I'm really feeling it and we're off and running, I'll usually abandon that. So it's like, I guess my point here is there's kind of a lot that has to happen before you even start playing, if you want to really pin it from beat one right off the bat, especially when it comes to like super slow tempos like this, where you're not allowed to actually play the subdivisions and it has to be spacious. Very challenging. But this will work for virtually everything. It's important to get some sort of motion in your body, some sort of subdivision. You can use the voice if you want, and that all needs to happen before the start of the song or whatever it is you're doing. Okay? So, I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.